Caller 1 loves Harry and wishes Meghan was coming and challenges Jenny, saying Harry was not rude. Okay, I read this already. Is she repeating the same thing? Yeah, that's the thing here. Alright, let's just play the videos.
Perhaps it was the beginning of a truce. It seems it wasn't that. But you're right, to an extent, they kept a low profile, as they did at the Jubilee. And that could have been the case again. But it is the public who find her a divisive figure. And why did they do that? Well, for a number of reasons, one of which is us.
That's
the
right.
Media, because we divide opinion, we take sides.
Thank you. This is the thing I was saying. I don't understand how Harry and Meghan can tell people what to think when they don't even come out and say a damn thing. They tell their truth. Netflix and the Spare. She finally making sense to me now. Okay, everything is not fully lost.
It's the media, because we divide opinion, we take sides, particularly the tabloids. Of course, you have to remember Harry is suing the Mirror Group, the Mail Group, and the Sun as well, I believe. So they're not going to be very well disposed towards either Harry or Meghan. But it is us, the media, and I think we should actually accept that, okay, it's been a long old road. They've been very rude in taking so long to say whether or not they're coming. Quite a simple question. We now know Harry is coming. Let's get...
Okay, I sort of understand her, but we have to understand Harry's perspective. As a matter of fact, I think Harry should have waited longer. Okay, the closer he gets to the coronation, that's when he should say, just leave a seat or two empty seat. He shows up. Okay, because his security is a major problem. Okay, this is priority for him. His security. They took everything away from him. His home is no longer his anymore. The Fragmore. Okay, so everything that he thought that was secure for him is taken away from him. So he should have waited, I would say, the night before. For all I care, I'm coming. That's it. Okay, the same way they, they acting or behaving around him, the same way he should react back to them. All right, let's continue.
Get on with the coronation. Focus on the king and his queen, and let's not talk about Harry anymore.
Sean is in Cardiff. Hi, Sean.
Good morning, young man. How are you?
Well, all the better for your kind greeting. Do you think Harry should be on his own at this?
I think it's the best compromise. As right. You know, Harry's my boy, and I just want everyone to leave him alone. I think it's going to be terribly hard for him to come, but I think where history is concerned, it's his father. And the thing is, in response to what Jenny has just said, how do you know that he hasn't been speaking to his father's people for weeks on end? You say he's been very rude in not replying, but you don't know what conversations they've been having. And I'm glad he's there. It's a shame Meghan's not coming, but I think it will cut down on all the hullabaloo.
Yes, it might.
He's my boy, Jeremy. You know I love him.
Well, I know you love Harry. You must feel very sorry for him, the pounding he takes.
Well, why are people so interested?
Oh well, I think we're interested. He's Diana's son. He's the grandson of the son of the king, right? So he's the grandson of the late Queen. My goodness, he's a figure of consequence. And he wrote a book. He wrote a book.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of what he is doing or has...
Oh, this color is good. Let's continue. Listen, I'm not going to read the caption anymore.
A lot of what he is doing or has done has a lot to do with doing it for Diana. What do you think?
Oh, you're asking me? Yeah, I think a lot of this is rerunning the Diana script, and I think
he's still
thank you for saving me from answering that.
12-year-old boy. He's still that 12-year-old boy. And I reviewed the book, and it really isn't the way our press has presented it.
Exactly.
When you read the book, you see that hurt boy all through it.
Thank you, Sean. Kathleen in the West Midlands.
And
what do you think? Should he be coming on his own?
And the thing is that if the tabloid would not leave him alone, none of this, the Oprah interview, the docu-series, the Spare book would not been written if they had just left him alone.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges.
If they had just left him alone.
And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option.
You serious? The Spare book would not been written if they had just left him alone.
What I want to make clear is we're not walking away. and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth and my military associations, but without public funding.
If they had just left them alone.
Unfortunately, that wasn't possible.
Because the whole plan for him and his wife was to work. They came to work.
I know the fact that she'll be really unbelievably good at the job part of it as well is obviously a huge relief to me, because she'll be able to deal with everything else that comes with it. But no, you know, we're a fantastic team. We know we are, and
because the whole plan for him and his wife was to work. They came to work,
and we hope to, you know, over time, try and have as much impact for all the things that we care about as much as possible.
I am very excited about that, yeah.
And Meghan, given your acting and the profile you had, you'd already been involved in various causes. You've been an ambassador for UN Women.
Because the whole plan for him and his wife was to work. They came to work.
What about this new role? I mean, you're going to have a bigger platform, a bigger voice. What do you want to do with it?
I think what's been really exciting as we talk about the transition of this out of my career but into the role is that, as you said, the causes that have been very important to me I can focus even more energy on, because very early out of the gate I think you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility.
Was to work. They came to work.
Which I take seriously, and at the same time I think in these beginning few months and now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about.
Because the whole plan for him and his wife was to work. They came to work
under this umbrella. And also being able to go around to the Commonwealth, I think it's just the beginning of a...
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do.
They show what they could do, and then the hate campaign went on and they had to chase them out. At some point, they need to live their lives. If they had just left them alone, let them do the thing with the lazies, feel threatened, being overshadowed. I mean, they have hands and feet and they have a brain to think. Why don't they come up with things? They have all the resources, unlike Harry and Meghan, okay, to come up with the ideas that they have, but they're not doing anything. But yet, they are freaking jealous of their accomplishment. Make it make sense to me. They have all the money in the world to make much more than what Harry and Meghan are doing in terms of work-wise. Look at how Harry made with Invictus. Okay, is the thinking behind all the work. Invictus, they didn't even want to sponsor the Invictus. Harry, someone wrote in the comment where the money came from and all of that. Okay, so Harry did what he had to do to make Invictus what it is now, because he felt he was passionate about it and make it a success. Look at the brother. Okay, he's creating Earth Flap. The thinking behind both of them, you could see why one is more successful than the other. You could put as many people behind it as possible, but if the thinking behind it is not there, it's not going to be accomplished. When Earth Flap went to Boston, the people who's receiving the award, he didn't even invite them to come over. This simple task to the basic, okay? But he felt like flying some, I don't know what Beckham had to do with Earth Flap or some other celebrities had to do with Earth Flap, but they chartered them in to come into the Earth Flap. What? I don't know. It's the thinking behind it. They have all the money, they meaning the royal family, the Charles, the William, to do all the things being successful. But there's Harry, who has the minimum, the least amount of money to make something positive, a charity positive, but the thinking behind it make it successful and he's passionate about it. Alright, so that's that. Okay, did this finish?
I can see the reasons. I think first it's very, very sad that Meghan and the children couldn't come with him. And also, it must be very sad deep down for the king, even though he welcomed Harry. And I think, yes, I can see that it's the right decision, but I think it's still a very sad day that the king, after all this is over, he'll be probably celebrating with his immediate family and his other two grandchildren.
Okay, Okay, I'm not feeling any damn thing about Charles. Okay, he is so freaking mean to see that. Okay, if he really wanted everybody to come together and do all of that, if he really meant to be, or if he was generous with his decision making, okay, he could have picked any other day. Okay, then except for the day of Archie's birthday. But he wants to divide. Okay, wants to divide the Sussexes as much as he can. Okay, so I'm not feeling one bit of a sorrow for him, because the choice that Harry is in is a really hard decision. They put him in, and Harry made the best out of it.
And they're going to be asking questions in later years. Well, Mummy, what was it like? Or Daddy, what was it like? And they're never going to be part of the royal family, even though they are prince and princess, and they've done nothing wrong.
Let me ask Jenny, Kathy, are the two children, hang on, I want to go, George and Lilibet, no, wait a minute, Archie and Lilibet, are they on the invite list or not, Jenny?
Well, we don't know. The Buckingham Palace haven't said whether Princess Lilibet, as Harry and Meghan like them to be known.
I didn't catch that in the original recording.
Princess Lilibet, as Harry and Meghan like them to be known.
Like Princess Lilibet and Prince Archie, like Meghan wants them to be known. Isn't what their title is? I didn't catch that. She sneaked that in her conversation. But isn't that the kid's title? Aren't Archie and Lily or Charles grandkids? Isn't that the rules that is applied? Isn't that their title? I mean, in the US we really don't care, but in the UK it seems like it's a big deal for you guys. So they should be known as what their titles entail. Damn, she sneaked that in as if, it's something out of the blue. Meghan wants her kids to have that. Isn't Archie and Lily or Harry's kids for them to have that title? My goodness, these people are vile over there.
Harry and Meghan like them to be known, whether they were invited or not, but they're really too young to sit through a long coronation service. I mean, with the best will in the world, this is going to go on probably for an hour and a half, so I think they'd be too young to. But they could have come over, of course, and Meghan could have had someone look after the children, and maybe Charles would very much have enjoyed playing with them afterwards.
No, we don't trust anybody, okay? This is why learning is fundamental. What happened in South Africa with Archie's room, okay, that's a lesson learned. We don't trust anybody around the royal family, okay? Lesson learned. And then second, throughout the leading to coronation, we're seeing headline, Meghan don't show up, all sort of negativity. We got the message, including when Piers Morgan told Meghan to go back to America.
Piers, if you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
They got the memo. They got the memo. All right? So nobody should, Harry and Meghan should not leave the kids with anybody and with the royal family. Nobody. The courtiers, none.
I think Charles is going to be absolutely knackered after this long coronation service. Probably too tired to play with his grandchildren. But there was that option. Meghan has chosen to stay with the children. That's a mother's right, and that's absolutely fine. It is Archie's 4th birthday, after all.
Thank you so much, Jenny Bond. Always nice to see you. Take care. Kathleen.
Okay, let's see. How many more? Let's highlight this. Oh my god, there's a lot more. There's a lot more. Okay, these, did I just miss it? I think it was that one. Is that one?
It was the beginning of a truce. It seems it wasn't that. But you're right, to an extent, they kept a low profile, as they did at the Jubilee.
Okay, I think I did this one.
For Diana, what do you think?
Oh, you're asking me? Yeah, I think a lot of this is rerunning the Diana script, and I think
I listened to that already. Maybe it was that one.
Staying in California, it's I was going to say Lilibet's birthday. I'm having real baby confusion here. Archie's birthday, he'll be 4. We can speak to Paul in Staffordshire. Paul, do you think Meghan should be with him?
Money's a reality on the panel.
Not bad.
I think Meghan should, and the children should come to Britain to support King Charles when he does get crowned, I think, and it's good to see Harry there, Prince Harry there, so it's good to see that happen. Really.
So you would want her to be with Harry?
Eh? With Harry, yes, with Meghan there, yeah. But she really, so you can support him.
Are you worried, Paul, that if she came, there would be a bit of a distraction?
Well, I suppose it would be, but I think the big event, coronation, I think it's maybe King Charles's day. I think it was just a I think it would be like I said, it makes no difference. I think it's King Charles Day, and that's all matters really. Because there's a sideline on the news headlines. That's all really.
And why do you think she's staying in California, Paul?
But, I think it's a shame that, like I said, she's not to come to Britain. She should definitely come to Britain. So it's a big event for King Charles. The pity that she's not here to support him, really.
Well, if Charles wanted Meghan to come, okay, all those meaningful things that they put on them, remove their security, remove Fragmore. Charles never wanted them to come anyway. Or whatever plan that he had, take Fragmore away from them, they could stay at the palace, whatever it wasn't working. Okay, there was nothing wrong when something is not working. Okay, when something isn't working, don't try to break it, try to fix it or something like that. Okay, Fragmore was fine for them. They did say, Harry and Meghan did say, whenever they're in the UK, they will use Fragmore as their headquarters. But Charles decided, nah, this should not be your headquarters. Alright, so they adjust. They have to adjust. Alright, so God is good.
The value as well there.
Which is, Jerry, thank you, Paul, so much. Brilliant. Imagine after the coronation, you have the canapes.
Okay, so this is gonna be on a video by itself because there's a lot of video clips.
Hello.
Hello. Now, what do you think? Should Meghan be coming?
No, I think Meghan is very brave for declining the invitation. I think she's stuck up for her husband and she's done everything that she needs to do. And now she's saying, you go deal with your toxic family. I want to stay with my children where I'm safe and I don't have to deal with your toxic family.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was an Andrew element here. Does she, you're going to have to be in a room with Prince Andrew? And what?
No, I don't think that concerns her. I don't think that's the case. I just think that dealing with Camilla, Charles, William and Kate, she doesn't want to deal with the press as well. So she's happy where she is. And in regards to the booing, the people that should be worried about being booed is Charles and Camilla. He's egged and booed wherever he goes. It's not Meghan. Meghan is loved. She doesn't get booed. Prince Harry doesn't get booed. They are loved. And
I'm glad the person said that because that's what I've been seeing. People who post some videos on Twitter. Yeah, everywhere Charles goes is booed. They've been through eggs.
It's a good point. We have noticed on the phones people still upset about Diana, Jerry.
Yeah.
Of course.
The third person in the marriage, but that's a long time.
No, not a long time ago. And also, I read somewhere that the number of street parties is only about 270, whereas for the Queen's Jubilee it was about 15 to 1700.
Wow.
So that's quite an interesting fact.
I don't know whether it's a fact at all.
It's
the sort of thing, well, it's in the papers, but the Daily Mail.
No, it wasn't in the Daily Mail. It was in quite a serious newspaper.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
stop. Have a look.
Barbara, thanks, Zainab. Barbara in Cheshire, hi. Should Meghan...
Okay, let's see this one now. 1 minute and 56 seconds.
Should Meghan be coming with Harry?
Good morning, Jeremy and the panel, especially Yasmin. I love listening to you. And thank you for reminding us about the awful Jeremy and Piers, who do seem to stir up a lot.
Clarkson, I was worried for a moment there.
Yeah, so was I.
Yes, I'm very glad that Harry's coming. I hope it will be healing in some way for the family. But I do understand that he and Meghan have got a little boy who's going to be 4, and it's very important that he sees at least one of his parents on this big day. And I find it hard to understand why this date was chosen for the coronation. It's not as though it's come as a surprise to Charles and his wife. I think they could have chosen a different day. They must have a birthday booked.
Are you suggesting that they thought, let's bang it in on Archie's birthday and cause havoc?
No, I'm not suggesting any malice here, but a huge oversight.
I don't know. I mean, listen, a 4-year-old. I mean, I know Archie's important, but he can't be allowed to determine the date of the crowning of the new king of the UK, Britain, England, whatever it is.
But the thing is that the palace knew the date was Archie's birthday. That's Harry's son's first son. Why would they choose that date? There's 364 more days in the year. Why this one? and then they're blaming him for all sort of issues, this and that, or whatever.
No, if this were the only date possible, I would show a little bit more understanding.
Right.
But there are over 360 days in the year.
Thank you.
You could have found another date.
Thank you.
Also, because, as the last caller has just said, I think Meghan would have much more support than people think she would if she wanted to come. But it's important to her little boy that she's with him.
Sure.
Many of us still can't forget the sadness that Camilla put into Diana's life.
I walk into the house and stick my hand out to Camilla for the first time and think she got over that. We were all upstairs and I was chatting away and I suddenly noticed that there was no Camilla, no Charles upstairs. So this disturbs me. So I make my way to go downstairs again. I know what I'm going to confront myself with. Try and stop me from going downstairs. Then I don't go down there. I'm just going to find my husband. I go downstairs, and there's a very happy little threesome going on downstairs. Camilla, Charles, and some other man who I didn't know, chatting away. So I thought, right, this is your moment. So I went and sat down, joining the conversation as though we're best friends. And I said, Camilla, I'd love to have a word with you if possible. And she looked really uncomfortable, put her head down. She said, oh yes, right. And I said to the two men, okay boys, we'll just have a quick word with Camilla. And I'll be up in a minute. And they shot upstairs like chickens with no heads. And I could feel upstairs all hell breaking loose. What's she going to do? So I said, Camilla, you'd like to sit down. So we sat down. And I was terrified of her. And I said, Camilla, I'd just like you to know that I know exactly what's going on. And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, I know what's going on between you and Charles. And I just want you to know that. And she said to me, very interesting, she said to me, you've got everything you've ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you. You've got two beautiful children, what more would you want? And I didn't believe what she said anyway. So I said, I want my husband. And she said, well, and she looked down the whole time. I said to Camilla, I'm sorry I'm in the way. I obviously am in the way. And it must be hell for both of you. But I didn't know what's going on, don't you? No, I can do it. In the car I made back, my husband was over me like a bad rash. I cried like I've never cried before. It was anger. It was 7 years of pent-up anger coming out. Cried. I didn't sleep that night. And the next morning I woke up.
And so the enthusiasm for her being called the Queen of England is very, very low.
We preferred slightly to that. Thank you, Barbara.
Oh.
Gina in London, hi.
Look how quickly he cut her off too. Right, there's more. 49 seconds.
London, hi.
Morning.
What do you think?
I don't think Harry should have attended, but I can understand why he did. I'm glad Meghan hasn't turned up because she would have been bullied, criticised, and it would have been awful for her. And secondly, it's her son's birthday. As the last caller said, why did they have the coronation on Archie's birthday? I know you said that they should not stop it because of him. I think, no, it's his grandson, it's the king's grandson, no matter what. And I think they should have picked another date for it.
So people saying, the date, has landed badly. Thank you, Gina. One more. Kathy Wakefield, hi.
Hi.
Who would you want to come? Harry, Meghan, or both? London, hi.
Morning.
What do you think?
I don't think Harry should have attended, but I can understand why he did. I'm glad Meghan hasn't turned up because she would have been bullied, criticised, and it would have been awful for her. And secondly, it's her son's birthday. As the last caller said, why did they have the coronation on Archie's birthday? I know you said that they should not stop it because of him. I think, no, it's his grandson, it's the king's grandson, no matter what. And I think they should have picked another date for it.
So people saying, the date you know, it was landed badly. Thank you, Gina. One more. Kathy Wakefield, hi.
Hi.
Who would you want to come? Harry, Meghan, or both? London, hi.
Oh,
What do you think?
shit, it's playing it over. All right, this is the last one. Let's listen.
I think if Meghan were to come, just thinking you're in her shoes, a very anxious day.
It'd be very anxious.
Stressful. I would be
awful.
You'd be really like, where is this going?
And all the cameras would be on
when
her.
Camilla has been so treacherous.
Has Camilla been treacherous?
Yes, Camilla has been absolutely treacherous. We know now that there has been, and Harry said it, that they were leaking stuff to the press, and she was one of them who had befriended people like
you're still on
no evidence of that at all. It's all press speculation.
And you know, a woman that Harry says in his book he feels has long plotted from when his mother was alive.
That's not what he used to say, Yasmin. He was actually very pro Camilla. Both boys were very pro Camilla.
No, but not in his book. Have you read his book?
I've read his book.
No,
but
you
he
haven't
changed.
read his book because that book
goes in and out.
But initially he was reported very clearly and said on air that he was pro Camilla. But now he's changed.
Because he grew up.
No, because he wants to sell a book.
He was 12 years old. This woman came into his life officially 2 years later. I'm sorry.
He dumped on his family, which is appalling. Absolutely appalling.
I mean,
he dumped on his brother, which is...
You mean this guy is preferring listening to a 12-year-old version? Okay, 12-year-old. Harry was 12 when the mom passed and stuff like that. Whatever the father put in his head to say to the camera, he will say. Now he's an adult. He analyzed things. And Harry said, you know, Camilla will leave dead bodies because she's very dangerous. And we see it. People see it. We all see it.
Appalling.
You think that this family is wonderful?
I never said they're wonderful.
No,
they're a family. Most families are a bit dysfunctional.
What do you
Unfortunately, you get it in a megaphone,
Are they wonderful? Are they wonderful?
I don't think they're particularly wonderful.
No,
they've got a ghastly job to do.
Quite normal. I don't know. You think they're a ghastly lot? All right. Coronation coming. This debate continues, of course. We'll take a different side.
Okay.
Just
all right.